Veronica. How is everyone doing today on this beautiful, beautiful webinar Wednesday? Veronica Berrigan here, my friends. Thank you so much for joining and being part of today's webinar, guys, which is going to be on leveraging your time in business, a pretty important subject that we all need to really handle within our business because time is our most valuable asset, guys. So really quick, I just want to make sure that you guys can see me here on our controls here. So if you can just give me a quick shout out on the side, I'm going to go here and see what is going on. Let's see here. Share that. Awesome. Let's go here, and we're just going to check a couple of things in here. Before we get started, guys, we're going to get started here in a little bit. All right, let me try something really quick, guys. 1 second. And then we will figure this out. All right, let's see. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes, guys. All right, it looks like it is working. Leveraging your time in business. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes, guys. Awesome. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. All right, it looks like it is working. Leveraging your time in business. Started here in just a couple of minutes, guys. Awesome. I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. All right, it looks like it is working. Leveraging your time. All right, guys, so we're going to get started here in just a few seconds. I am enabling your chat capabilities so that you are able to chat with me here on the side. Let's see what's happening here. Let's go here. So hopefully you guys can chat with me there on the side. For some reason, this right here. So you guys can definitely text me or send me a quick email or anything if you guys can't hear it or can't see anything. But I'm going to start with the presentation now. And hopefully it will work, guys, because I'm freaking out if it doesn't. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's presentation on time management. So leveraging your time in your business. So each and every one of us, we all have 24 hours in a day, right? How do we become more productive? How is it that some people, get so much done every single day? Yeah, there's so many of us that actually struggle with so many things out there, right? Like, for example, getting everything done because we wear a zillion hats every single day. It's not so fun, right, guys? So, let me kill the echo here, guys, and give me a second. And we're just killing the echo here. So we're going to get started here in just a few seconds. I am enabling your chat capabilities so that you are able to chat with me here on the side. Let's see what's happening here. Let's go here. And I'm just checking, guys, to make sure that the visuals are working, and then we'll get started, okay? Which I'm watching myself live on YouTube, too. So hopefully you guys can chat with me there on the side. For some reason, this is right here. So you guys can definitely text me or send me a quick email or anything if you guys can't hear it or can't see anything. But I'm going to start with the presentation now. And hopefully it will work, guys, because I'm freaking out if it doesn't. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's presentation on time management. Okay, so it looks like it's working. We're good. Okay, so we all have 24 hours in a day. How do we become more productive, especially in the real estate world? So first and foremost, guys, what you're going to have to really clarify on is what is your HBUT? So what does that mean exactly? Excuse me. Excuse me. Wow. Excuse me. Okay. What is your highest and best use of your time? So in order to really determine what that is, especially in the real estate world, we got to make a list of priorities. We got to really get clear on what are the money makers. You know, we like to stay busy with busy work, but is it helping you meet your goals? Is the work that you're doing actually gonna create results that you're happy with? So we have to get clear on what our priorities are in the business before we can do anything. So the solution is to list out your priorities. And I'll give you guys a really quick recap of exactly what those priorities are. And by the way, guys, we're going to go into some solutions and time hacks to help you guys. And then I'm going to sit and actually show you some of the best apps, some of the best tools out there for realtors. And all of them are free. I think there's a couple that you pay for, but most of them are free. And those things are going to help you also become more productive and streamline everything that you're doing. But as you look at your business and you look at yourself as a realtor, what are the priorities that you need to be focused on in your business day to day? And it should look like something like this. You need to book appointments, which in essence is lead generation, right? It's not just about getting the leads. I keep talking to you guys about this week. It's not just getting them. It's actually booking appointments, getting in front of people. Second part is going on appointments, obviously, right? Very important. Buyer and seller appointments. Third part is probably going to be your communication, which has a lot to do with follow-up and your communication with your team members, your communication with your clients, with your partners, etc. And then the last part is going to be managing your business, managing the foundational part, your email drip campaigns, the systems that you're creating to streamline. That's really the fourth part. There should be a fifth part in your schedule, which does include professional development, but I'm not talking, that's not your priority. Your priority is this right here: lead generation, going to your appointments, lead follow-up, and then managing your day-to-day business. So number two, what you got to do is have you analyze your time versus your priorities in order to discover where it is that you are wasting time. You got to really take the time first to analyze and try to get a percentage of what's happened in the last 3 weeks of how you are really using your time. A percentage of what your time is being spent compared to what your priorities are, because these are your priorities. And now you got to sit and become aware of what your last week looked like. Jot down what you did, or even try it this week already, as far as what you did hour to hour. If you can do half hour to hour is even better. And then compare what you actually did to what your priority list looks like. That should give you a percentage. And that should also give you some huge awareness as to what it is you need to change. Are you spending too much time on social media? Who, what, or where is it that your time is being sucked out of you? And the only way you can change anything is by becoming aware of it. So many of us don't even realize where most of our days are spent. And it probably is in saving buyers. Usually that's what happens. But if you know what your priorities are, you have clarity on them, then you can really eliminate all of this drama that happens throughout the day. And then number three is you really got to identify your time traps. You got to identify where it is you get stuck. And you have to be really, really, really honest, like I said. Is it in social media? Is Facebook, are you spending 100% of your time on Facebook or on Snapchat or whatever that looks like? Maybe it's a skill set. Maybe your typing is too slow, or, your paperwork, and it's just taking up too much time. Or maybe you forgot your cell phone charger and you had to go back home and get one instead of, going to Amazon Prime and having an order one and getting it delivered to you within minutes. There's certain things that we do every single day that we need to become aware of, where we can raise the way we're delivering or we could raise our skill set, or we could eliminate. We can say, I'm not going to touch my Facebook only from this time to this time, because Facebook, you open that thing and you get sucked in for hours, right? Or even any other social media platform, reading the news, reading anything. So you have to really identify what or who are your time traps. Who's a vampire or energy vampire sucking out your living daylight, right? Who or what is it that's really keeping you away from your priorities, which is lead gen, lead follow-up, communication with your current clients, and managing your business. So identifying your priorities, analyzing where your time is currently being spent, and then the third step, what or who, identifying who exactly are those time traps. And then what you really got to do to stay or not only stay accountable, but you really got to do to fix all these time traps is you got to really have a good picture of what does my ideal week look like. You can break it down as to how many appointments per day. You can even break it down per week, per month. And then you could also talk and really become aware of what would have to happen before to make that happen. So if I know what my ideal week needs to look like, then what would I need to do in order to make that happen? And sometimes it's simple things like I need to wake up a half hour earlier. I need to not take 2-hour lunches. I need to stop talking to some people at the office, right? When they come talk to me, maybe I should say, right now, this is my lead generation time. Or right now, this is my follow-up time. So how can we eliminate these distractions? What is it? Because since you have your priorities straight, and then you have also your time traps, clarity on what that is, what is it that I have to do my ideal week actually happen? Okay? And then you have to write out your schedule, daily, weekly, timely. You have to really sit with weekly time blocking schedules. You guys can Google. I use a simple one. I use weekly time blocking. I'm Googling it right here, guys. And there's templates. I actually start in pencil and then I take it to my Google Calendar because I emphasize it when I do it in pencil and then I do it again in writing and typing it out. It helps me tremendously. But you can download a ton of them, guys. Free Excel sheet template for schedule makers. And I'm going to talk to you guys about some apps you can use right now. But are you really downloading and are you setting out your week for the Monday through Friday or whatever your work week it looks like, right? So there's a ton of download of them free that you can use. Like this one. Look how easy this one is. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then it gives you intervals, of times. So you have to get in the habit, guys. You have to live by your schedule. And you have to schedule personal time too. Days off. You have to run yourself like a corporation, guys. So what would have to happen before to make that happen, right? You have to write out your schedule, daily, weekly, and you got a time block. And then how will you get ahead of the drama? What's going to help you prevent the whirlwind to take you back into the time-sucking moments of your life, right? And what will help you guys is sharing your schedule with me, your manager, sharing your schedule with somebody else at the office, sharing the schedule with your spouse, your significant other. Because what happens when you share your schedule? You have someone to check in with, and that's the biggest weakness and the biggest flaw within the real estate industry because you are your own business owner. So accountability is one of the weakest things in the industry. If you had me as your manager and you were my employee, things would be a lot different, guys. So you need to not only create the schedule, visualize what your perfect week is going to be like. You got to share it with someone, and then you got to post it all over. Post it in your room, post it in your office, post it in your car, wherever you're constantly reminded. Because that's the hardest part. The hardest part is not necessarily getting clarity or writing it out. The hardest part is sticking to it. 21 days builds a habit. You got to do it for at least 21 days, and then it'll become a little bit easier. So that should give you guys some tips on exactly how to actually fix your time scheduling, the bleeding that happens with your time scheduling. And to reiterate, because then I'm going to go into the apps, which are pretty cool. So we got your number one, you're going to have to you have to decide what your highest and best use of your time is. So HBUT. So make a list of your priorities. They got to include lead gen, lead follow-up, going to appointments, and managing your business. Number two, you have to analyze what you're doing with your time right now. For the next week, sit with one of those time blocking calendars that I showed you right now and write down exactly what it is you're doing, minute or hour to hour, so you have an idea. And then you got to compare that to what your priorities are. And then number three, you got to really identify your time traps. Who or what? What is it that's making you stuck? You know? And then number four is you got to develop your ideal week. What does it look like? And time block. You'll be surprised, guys, that really if you time block for your priorities, you should get it done within 4 hours. So that leaves a lot of time for going to show houses, setting listing appointments, doing even more some lead generation, right? But you got to stick with it, and you got to share your schedule with someone so you're being held accountable. So those are some ways to help you really reduce the time that you're spending. Now, I love technology. I love applications. I love apps. I love sites. I love tools that are going to help me really do my job a lot easier, because we all know we all wear a zillion hats, right? So what I want to do next is share with you some of my top favorite apps that you guys should be using day to day to really help you streamline what you're doing. So first and foremost, Google Apps for Work. So Google Apps for Work provides the users with a whole suite of tools. So you don't even need to have Microsoft Office anymore for your computer, guys. It's so awesome. When you go to Google.com apps, then you can actually download everything. But as long as you have a Gmail account, just like I do right here, I use my Drive for everything. And this is my Berkshire one. But I have folders for workshops. I have folders for pretty much anything that I'm doing. And I can share things very easily from here. So this is my hub, my space. This is another Berkshire email that I use. In my other Berkshire email, I have everything organized in folders. I have things that I can just easily find because the whole Drive is searchable. And then again, I can share things very easily. For example, I can get this, and if this is something that I wanted to share with my client, I can easily go here and then share it, move it, put it as a favorite, etc., etc. So I emailed you guys yesterday a ton of systems. All of that stuff, you guys can use Google Apps to actually store it and to have a great place to share it and to streamline what it is you're doing with your clients. So that's a good one always. So make sure you have a Gmail account. Trello. Trello is fabulous, guys. Trello is basically a project management tool that you can fully customize, and it can work with if you have an admin or other team members. It is free for a long time, so get it and start playing with that. But it makes you, you can create lists, like to-do lists. It makes you organize and prioritize all of the projects that it is that you're doing. And for me, free is awesome. And also, the ones that I'm going to mention, there's a little bit of repetitive on them, but I can tell you guys that from the ones that I'm going to mention, Trello is one of my favorites. You can also do custom labels. You can attach files. You can invite other users with hashtags. It's actually really cool for it being free. I think it's incredibly awesome. So think about it for more project management. Let's say you're doing a listing and you have your marketing checklist. Well, you can upload it here, and now if you have an admin that helps you, or even yourself, you can actually check off things very easily. And it is free, so get on it, guys. Get on it. See what the next one is. The next one is Todoist. That is another one like Trello. The one thing with Todoist is that it's specific for to-do lists only. Trello, not only can you do the to-do list with this one, but you can also do project management. So if you have a team, or like I said, your marketing and your checklist. But Todoist I love because every morning I do a to-do list, and I base it on priorities, right? Which one is highest? And this one really helps me easily just check off things. And you can also share it with other people that are responsible for the work, like, for example, your lender or your title company, whatever. It's It's actually a pretty cool tool as well, and it is free. LastPass saves you time by securely storing all your passwords. How many times have you guys seen me even in training where I'm using a new computer and I forgot what my password was to log in, and we all pray and we hope that Veronica remembers her password. Well, LastPass is, because I've been researching this, is one great app that you guys can do for really saving all of your passwords, and it does save them within the site, so you don't have to keep entering them over and over, because how much time do we waste on trying to remember our passwords? It's horrible, guys. I bet you anything that if you start time blocking everything you're writing, everything you're doing, you're gonna start seeing a lot of this in there, and it's ugly. It's ugly. Next app that's really awesome is called Amy. So Amy is an artificial intelligence powered assistant. She's actually an assistant that can help you spend less time scheduling meetings with clients, other agents, and new prospects. It's a simple tool that eliminates the need to go back and forth. How many times have you guys said, well, what time do you want to see this home? Or what time can I go meet you for the listing presentation? You actually, all you have to do is whenever you're emailing someone about setting an appointment, you just have to CC this app, Amy, and then she'll take care of everything for you. So she'll schedule it. She'll show based on your calendar. She'll be able to schedule and show what openings you have available. I think it's phenomenal. It's genius, and it streamlines everything that we're doing, guys. So Amy, and that is X.AI. X.AI is a personal assistant who schedules meetings for you. Isn't that pretty cool? So it is free, guys. Actually, for a little bit. It's only a free trial, and then you have to pay for it. I know they always get you. So I love Miss Amy. FreshBooks. I love FreshBooks. It's not QuickBooks, it's FreshBooks. FreshBooks is a simple cloud-based accounting tool that you can use to manage your expenses and finances as your real estate business continues to grow. You can use FreshBooks to create and send invoices, track your spending, take pictures of receipts, track time, build financial reports, and more. You're not going to be sending invoices, obviously, but FreshBooks will keep all of your expenses for marketing, your pictures, every receipt you've ever done, including even it does have a mileage tracker, although the best mileage tracker I would use is called Mile IQ. But this one has a component in it. But guys, you have to do this for your tax purposes. April 15th is almost here. So if you're not tracking all your expenses, it's really tough to try to remember at the end of the year. FreshBooks is pretty cool, so I highly recommend that one. ScanBot. Okay, how many times do you guys run back to the office just because you need to scan a counter offer you need to do, or you have to run to somewhere that has a scanner? ScanBot is the best. It looks like our copy machine at the office. Well, the quality, I'm sorry, not the actual app. But it is a mobile PDF scanner app, and it is for iPhone or Android. And it allows you to scan and send important documents, of course. And it is free. There's certain limitations as far as how many times you use it, but there's a ton out there. You just put scanner on your search for your apps, and you'll find a few others that you can actually consider. Snapseed. So this is another cool one. If you're taking a lot of photos of your listings but don't have time to go back and edit them, so if you're doing your own photography, this is a really cool app that you can use to actually give you high resolution photos. Snapseed is a great tool to leverage, an incredibly easy to use photo editing app for iPhone and Android. And with Snapseed, you can pick an image from your smartphone, load it into the app, customize as desired, then export it as a high-res image. So it's like minutes, guys. It's easy to use. It gives you some filters. Again, it's definitely to really spruce up those photos for your listings, or maybe if you're doing a lot of content building, if you're doing some advertising on Facebook or Google Ads, great app to actually get your pictures to look a lot better. And then for movies, guys, for creating video, my two top favorite are iMovie or Splice. iMovie is only for iPhone. It is their oldest product probably, and it's easy to use. Definitely can edit voice, you can edit images and all of that great stuff. Splice, I think, is even easier to use than iMovie. And it is actually Splice is not for Android, my friends. It's only for iPhone. Android, a good one for Android that's similar to Splice would be like Videolicious. That one's good. But for iPhone, Splice is like incredibly easy to use, guys. You basically pick and choose from your phone library what videos, what still images, intros, exits, etc., to use, and you can create a movie within a minute. It's really, really nice, guys. It's easy to use. Haiku Deck. I really love Haiku Deck. If you guys have never heard about it, it's actually a place where you can take a PDF. So let's say you have the listing presentation in a PDF format. I do have one already, an account. Maybe I can just show you guys really quick. But what it does, it makes beautiful presentations out of all of your PDFs. So let's see, sign in. I think I have an account. So let me try. Or maybe not. But let me show you how easy this is. And actually, how nice would it be for your client to get, instead of a PDF attachment, to actually get a beautiful layout. Beautiful layout of the presentation you're trying to do. So it's super easy, guys. It takes you right to the thing. And then, oops, let me just enter. Okay, so we go over here, export, and PDF. Oh, you could do PowerPoint now too. Oh, that's only for Pro. Okay. Oh, this is not, changed it. Let me see here. Ooh, what it would look like, I'm trying to just get you guys in here. I'll pull it up again right now so you can see it. But what it looks like, it's basically a PDF that opens up like a beautiful book. So it actually looks like our digital like collection book. It's pretty awesome. Let me go in here just so you guys can see it. But our marketing director, Maria Hill, actually told me about this one, and she uses it a lot. So marketing, listing, and buyer presentation links. So it would look exactly like this. You just uploaded the PDF in there, and then click on this. Actually, she uses Isu, but Haiku is the same thing. Isu is also, actually Haiku is cheaper. Isu is free for the first 90 days, so you guys can try it out. But instead of them getting an app, or I'm sorry, a PDF attachment, this is in essence, they get a link, they click on the link, and then it opens up very beautifully. So now they actually get to see it as a presentation. And you can do this anything with PDF or PowerPoint. They can zoom in and zoom out. This is great, again, for anybody that you need to send a really nice presentation to that you're not going to be sitting in front of them. So Isu, ISSU, or Haiku Deck. I was confusing it with Isu. I like Isu better actually, but Haiku is not bad either. And then Waze. So how many times do you guys get stuck on traffic? Waze is a really cool app that actually tells you whether there's traffic jams, whether there's accidents, road hazards, pretty much anything that you need to know to save you guys some time. So download Waze as well. And then Charlie app. I really like Charlie app because it's building rapport with your contacts. So here's what it is. It's really, really a spying tool, guys, because what it is that you put in the information of the individual you're trying to find, and then it researches your contact and sends you information about their interests, company, common connections, news related to them, and so much more, guys. Like it literally does like a whole scan of the internet, and it gives you all of their where to find people and or where to find your contact. How amazing is this when you're going to your listing presentation or buyer presentation? If you have all this background, so you can pick tidbit information that you know would get them to actually engage. So that one is pretty awesome, Charlie app, and that one is free as well. And you can just search for all of these on your iPhone or Android. So you don't have to go to basically to the website at all. But Charlie app, definitely, if you want to find out more about the people you're going to be meeting, highly recommend you get that one. So iMovie or Splice, Haiku or Isu, ISSU, Waze for traffic, and then the Charlie app. All right, guys. So do we have any questions? So those are some good apps. I'm going to go over them again just so you have them in the screen. So Google Apps for work, Trello for project management and to-do lists, Todoist for all of your to-do lists, LastPass for passwords, Amy to set up all of your meetings, FreshBooks for your finances, guys, because we need to keep our finances in order, ScanBot for scanning documents. That's the best and free one to use. Snapseed, I love for editing photos to get you into high resolution images. iMovie or Splice for your movies. Haiku or Isu, ISSU, to create beautiful presentations from your PDFs. Waze, W-A-Z-E, to not get stuck in traffic, guys. To track mileage, I would use Mile IQ, M-I-L-E, IQ. And then there's the Charlie app for building rapport, which is more of a spying app to find out more about your potential client before you actually sit down with them. So do we have any questions, guys, on what we need to do today? Anything at all? You guys can chat on the box, or you can always text me as well. What I really want you guys to get out of this class are the ways to start today to cut the bleeding of time in your business. So you have to identify the priorities, right? You have to identify your highest and best use of your time. You got to identify what those priorities are. You got to really look at where you're spending your time for this week so you can compare it based on your priorities. You got to develop a clear vision as to what your time traps are. And then you have to create an ideal work week for you. What does it look like? What days? How many hours? And then you got to share it with someone so you can be held accountable. The rest, all of these apps that we talked about, it comes with time. If you do not handle the first part that I talked about first, you will not be successful with using these apps, because it's first about your priorities and then adding systems to help you streamline what it is that you're doing. So do we have any questions at all, guys? Any questions at all? Let me go back here. Open this. It doesn't look like we do. Okay, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining today's webinar. I will go ahead and post the replay on our Facebook group page. And please, guys, get really serious about your time. It's the most important part of your business. Your time is your most valuable asset. So we got to really nail that in the butt before we can really reach higher potentials. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Have a very great rest of your evening, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.